Hey, third graders, Miss Whitford here. So I'm just going to show you some common subtraction mistakes, but also some strategies that you can use for when you are working on subtraction. Okay, so we've done a really good job of working with place value and understanding. I'm just going to do some drawing on here that we have the hundreds place, the tens place, and the ones place. Okay, we definitely know the place value. So you know that this 9 over here, this 9 is really 9. That one's fine. This 1 doesn't really mean just 1. It actually means 10 because it's in the tens place. So it really means it's 1 10 or 10 ones if you want to think about it like that. And the 4 doesn't really mean 4. It really means 4 hundredths. So what happens a lot when students are subtracting, they want to use the same addition strategies, which is great. We love that. And you're probably familiar with the borrowing strategy, and we are going to talk about that, but I'm going to show you a very common mistake, okay? So students look at this and they think, oh, okay, 9 take away, like they do it in the lines, 9 take away 3 is 6. 9 take away 3, we have 6 left, okay? Now we come over here to the tens place, okay? We see 1 and 8. 1 and 8. You can't take 8 away from 1. So what a lot of students want to do is that they want to make it make sense in their brain. So they look at it and think, oh, well, I'm just going to subtract 8 minus 1, and that's going to be 7, okay? And yeah, because that makes sense. You have 8, you can take 1 away, and then 4 take away 1 is 3. But as adults, we know that is not right. I'm going to use another color to show it. This is not right. That's not right. You can't take away what you don't have. But because this 1 isn't really 1, it's really 10, you can take away from it, but you just have to do what's called regrouping. So I'm going to show you 2 strategies for regrouping, okay? So one of them is where students draw it out. It's going to be very hands-on, very physical, and they are actually going to be using, it's called base 10 blocks to do this. So when they draw it, or before they draw it, we're going to be using actual base 10 blocks. So what you do, you look at this first number because this is what you have that you're going to be taking away from. So you're going to draw 419. So it's going to be 4 hundredths. Okay, there's your hundreds. There's 110, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is what we have. Now we need to work on taking away. So if you take away, you cross off. I'm going to show a different color, show what it looked like if I cross off. Okay, so I'm going to start at the ones place. You got to start at the ones place. You got to start at the ones place. Okay, I have 9. I'm going to take 3 ones away. Okay, so I'm just going to cross it off. 1, 2, 3. Okay, done. All set. We're good on that. Okay. Now, let me go over to the tens place. I need to take 8 tens away, but oh my goodness, I don't have 8 tens. I don't have enough to take away. So you regroup. We also can think about this like it's like you ask for change. Like if you go to a store and you only have $100 bill and they might need to like break that $100 bill down, which by the way, if you have a $100 bill, great, would love that for you. But you have to break it down. So what we're going to do, we're going to break down one of the hundreds. So instead of 100, we're just going to make it look a little bit different. And instead of 100, it's going to be 10 tens, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay? Watch me. Let me use a different color here. So I took that 100 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. Just like that. Okay? So it was 100. Now I've taken it and I've changed it into 10 tens. So it was here. Now it's here. Now I have enough that I can take away. Now I can take away 8 tens. 1. Oh, let me use a different color. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And then the last thing, don't forget the hundreds. The last thing I need to do is take away 100. All right, I'm going to take away 100. And let me see what I have left. I like to do a place value chart, hundreds, tens, ones, and let me see what I have left. Okay, so I'm going to count my ones first. I have 6 ones that are left. Tens, I have 3 tens that are left, and hundreds, I have 2 hundreds that are left. So my real answer is going to be 236. So you can see, like, and also if you think about it, if you have 419 is about 400, 183 is about 200. So 400 minus 200 is going to be about 200. So if you get an answer that's 376, it just doesn't make sense. So that's why this one works. So this is, I know that it's a lot of writing. I get it. I totally get that. But I want kids to have a really good understanding of subtraction. Okay, so that is one of the strategies. I'm going to talk about another strategy right now using the same equation. 419 minus 183. Okay, this will probably look slightly more familiar. 419 minus 183. Is that what I put? I think that was the right one. 419 minus 183. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to erase this because I want to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm going to break this down into expanded form. I'm going to break apart and then push back together. So it's going to be 400 plus 10 plus 9, right? If you smush that back together, that's 419. I'm going to take away 100 plus 80 plus 3. Okay, and there's my line because I'm going to subtract it. So this is probably the most familiar that you would have to where it's like the borrowing strategy. So I'm just going to start with my ones just like before. Okay, I'm going to use a different color to show it. Have 9 ones. I want to take away 3 ones. 9 minus 3 ones is going to be 6. Okay. Now it's a little bit easier to see here. I have 10, but instead of 10, I'm going to make it into, instead of a 1, or 10, and I need to take away 80. Can't do that. So what I need to do, I need to take, just like I did before, just like I borrowed, just like I regrouped this 100, made it into 10 tens. So what I'm doing, I'm taking 100 away from here. Instead of 400, now I have 300. But I need to add that 100 to 10. So if I take 100 plus 10, now I really have 110. Now it's going to be a little bit easier to subtract. Now I have 110 minus 80. So I have 0 minus 0 is 0. And 11 take away 8 is 30. I'm going to put my plus sign here. And then lastly, should be pretty easy, 300 take away 100 is 200. When you smush it back together, you have 236 as your answer. So these are 2 different strategies. You get the same thing as up here. These are 2 different strategies to show subtraction. I know it's a lot of writing. I know it's a little bit different than what we talked about. And I know the traditional standard algorithm. I totally get that. Subtraction is traditionally going to be a lot more challenging to students. And I want to make sure that they have a really good, firm understanding of how to subtract before we go on to the next grade levels. Because when you get to 4th grade, they're going to be doing long division. Don't be scared. They'll be able to do long division. And one of the strategies, one of the things that you need to do when you get to long division is that you need to be able to subtract correctly. So if you want to be able to do long division, you need to be able to subtract correctly. So I know that they're going to do a really good job of this. I just want to show you 2 strategies that you can use. If you see this happening, then we're going to just go back and work on, make sure it's hands-on, make sure that students have a really good understanding of place value before we get to the next lesson. So that is it. Can't wait to see how they do with subtraction.